Most men in 2025 have an issue attracting women, or when they do attract a woman, they have issues in their relationship. They blame it on society, they blame it on their generation, or they think that it's the other person's fault, but never have they thought that it might be their own problem. Welcome to the Becoming Men project. My name is Ayan. I am 16 and I help young men like you transition from boy psychology to man psychology. This video is part 3 of my masculinity playlist. Today we're going to discuss polarity, how it's different from depolarized relationship, how you can attract a feminine woman. Today we're going to talk about polarity. Polarity basically means that at one time there are two poles. It can be in a magnet where there are two poles, north and south. It can be in an electrical circuit where there's the positive end and the negative end. Or, like in a relationship, it could be a masculine side and a feminine side. Polarity basically means that at one given time, there are two poles, masculine and feminine, present so that love flows. In a magnet, when poles are present, magnetic force appears. In a circuit, when there is a positive and negative end, energy flows. Just like that, in a relationship, when a masculine and a feminine side is present, love flows. And that is why polarity is very important. In a relationship, polarity is the basis on which spiritual as well as sexual essence is based on. If you feel like polarity is going to affect your work life, then you're completely wrong. If you are a naturally masculine person, your work life is going to be exceptional because, of course, you're purpose driven, you're directional, and you want to work. And again, like if you are a feminine person, then your love life is going to be very good because your sole purpose of living is love, is the flow of love. But in a relationship, when there is no two poles, love will not flow. There's going to be issues. Either both of them have the same energy or they're just depolarized. Like if you have studied physics, you must have seen like poles repel, unlike poles attract. That's how if you bring two poles together, that is, if you bring two masculine people together, there's going to be no polarity and they're going to repel each other. That is, in real life, they're going to have competition. But when you bring two opposite people together, there's going to be love. There's going to be a flow of energy that's going to help them grow together and grow to a level of love that they've never comprehended. So that is why polarity is very important in a relationship. Again, as a young man, you need to understand that when you do get a girlfriend or when you do get a wife, you need polarity. Even if you are a masculine man, if your woman is not feminine, that means love is not going to flow. Again, we live in 2025, so I am in no position to say that every man has to be masculine, that every girl has to be feminine. Living in 2025, we have, of course, like outgrown the bound of like a masculine man or a feminine woman. Women can be masculine, men can be feminine, and like the entire gay and lesbian community is like such a good example of that. They have more idea of polarity than we do because they know that for good love to flow in a relationship, polarity is irrelevant of gender. You can be a masculine man or you can be a masculine woman, and still if you have the opposite partner whose energy is opposite to you, love will flow. So that is why you must understand that polarity is really important in a relationship. Now, let's just talk about why you don't get any attraction from women. It's like, as a young man, you must have noticed that girls are predominantly attracted to guys who portray masculinity. Again, masculinity is like, it could be anything, it could be dominant, it could be confidence, or it could just be like being who you are. So that is why you don't attract women. Because if you have a masculine essence and you feel like you want to attract feminine girls and women will only be attracted to men who physically, emotionally, or mentally portray masculinity. Okay, let me just give you an example. If your perfect 10 out of 10 woman shows up to your doorstep, how do you think you're going to be able to attract her? And let's just consider that you are completely masculine, yet you don't know how to express that masculinity. So do you think you're going to be able to attract her? Like, no. Like, you're going to like mess it all up and then you're going to lose the girl who could have been like the mother of your children. So you need to be able to portray masculinity not just at a conscious level but at a subconscious level where attraction really happens. So what does a masculine man look like? And you think it's good looks. Honestly, you have to let go of that lie. It's just a lie that you've been telling yourself. Every kind of man who is masculine attracts women. That is a fact. Anything else that you've been told is just a lie. If you're a masculine man, it doesn't matter if you look good, it doesn't matter if you're socially acceptable, if you're politically acceptable. No, you just have to be masculine and you'll attract feminine women. So, how do you become more masculine at a subconscious level? Well, there's three ways to do that. Way one would be to be comfortable in who you are. That means when you're present socially or when you're present there with the woman that you want to attract, you are comfortable being who you are. If you're the guy who like constantly adjusts his shirt or is like very conscious and like very anxious, that girl's going to be turned off. That means you're not comfortable in your own skin, you don't like who you are, and that's going to turn her off because she needs to be comfortable in your direction. So you need to be comfortable in your own skin and you need to accept yourself. That's how she's going to accept you. Way two is going to be to have a purpose. When you have a purpose, everything else starts to matter less. Women start to matter less. What happens outside of your life, what people say about you behind your back, it doesn't matter. So that means your energy is directed towards your purpose. When your energy is directed towards your purpose, your woman's energy will be directed towards you. That's how polarity works. A masculine man focuses on his purpose, and a feminine woman focuses on his man. That's how love flows. So you need to start having a purpose. And again, relating to that, way three is to stop giving a fuck. If you give a fuck about everything in life, what every person says about you, how you look every time, then your energy is not going to be constant. You're not going to be grounded in your values and you're going to have bad mental health. That is going to be a very big turn off for the women. And you need to understand that. If you don't do that, then it's going to be like the woman is going to look at you and she's going to go like, hell now, why would I be attracted to him? He's giving a fuck about everything I say. He's paying attention to everything I do. That's going to be a turn off. Women don't like that. So as a young man, start to care less. Think more about your purpose. Think more about the direction of your life, and women are going to be naturally attracted to you. One thing I want you to understand more is that polarity is very different from depolarized relationship. If you as a man believe that you are masculine and you attract a girl who's feminine, there's going to be polarity in your relationship. You both are going to be attracted to each other. You're going to grow to another level of love, surpass the level of normal love that you've been living, and then you're going to grow together, and then you're going to live life in such a meaningful and fulfilling way. But being depolarized or having both masculine and feminine qualities at the same time, that is having a balanced energy, is different from polarity. If you as a person believe that you have a balanced energy, which you probably don't, but if you do, polarity is not going to help you. If you have both masculine and feminine qualities, looking for a person who has either one is going to kill your relationship and it's going to harm your mental health in such a bad way that you're going to stop wanting to love anymore. So, as a depolarized person, again, if you're listening to this and you're depolarized, get the fuck out of this channel. This is not for you. This is only for masculine young men who want to learn about polarity. If you are depolarized, if you think that you want a depolarized relationship, this is not going to help you, this is going to harm you, so please do not take my advice. Lastly, how do you polarize women? Polarizing women is not hard. Attracting women is not hard. Again, the only thing I want you to know is this is not conscious. A girl is not going to be attracted towards you because you are funny. She might be attracted to you if you're funny in the later stages, but subconsciously in the first few seconds that she notices you, you have to embody your masculine energy. If you are masculine, let that energy flow through your entire body. Feel it, be confident in it, and lead your life into your purpose, and you're gonna eventually attract her. That's all I want to tell you today. If you liked what you learned today, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.